2198, 2 decades after the Hadley's Hope incursion. The USS Otago and WEYLAND Research Station Pioneer orbited Lethe, a small frontier planet, cargo inbound. Acquisition from the Bentonville shuttle to Pioneer Station was sabotaged, and the acquisition of specimens was interrupted. This cargo, containing specimens of Xenomorph XX121 specimen, was let loose on the station, leading to an all-out infestation. In mere hours, most of the staff were either killed or taken host by the aliens. Deputy Administrator Mike O'Hayes initially became aware of the sabotage, noting that half of the Bentonville shipment remained at dock despite a request for takeoff accreditation according to the shuttle's manifest. Able to survive the initial infestation, Hayes initiated the Cerberus Protocol in an attempt to stop the Bentonville as it was leaving the station and the evidently dangerous cargo it still carried. As per WEYLAND containment procedures, the Cerberus Protocol command override would allow the purging of containment vectors. These targets were recognized by Pioneer Station satellites as the Bentonville, the USS Otago, and an additional WEYLAND vessel, the USCSS Baldwin. The Bentonville and Baldwin were destroyed, but the Otago narrowly survived the strike, making an emergency crash landing into a desolate area of Lethe's surface. A dropship from the Otago containing a squad of Marines led by Sergeant Jonas Harper aided Hayes in escaping the station, and they made their way to Lethe. Harper is left as the top in the chain of command, and sets up base in the ruins of the Otago along with the aid of Hayes, now deputized as an intelligence officer for the USCM. Their goal to search for survivors on Lethe and investigate the incident that led to the outbreak on Pioneer Station. The short-range frequency receiver picked up a distress message from a nearby colony. "This is Sheriff Souza. Dead Hills Township is... They're killing everyone. We need help." Dead Hills Township was found to be overrun with the Xenomorph XX121 specimens, referred to disdainfully as critters by the Marines. This investigation did lead to the discovery that crates of the specimens were being purposefully dispatched throughout the planet. The culprits soon revealed themselves, a deranged cult, violent and armed, calling themselves the Darwin Era. Led by Joseph Marlowe, a former WEYLAND biologist who had been reported missing several years prior to the incident, the cultists revered the alien and believed it to be the next step in mankind's evolution. They methodically captured colonists throughout all regions and townships of Lethe, bringing them to their research facility in a northern region named Tantalus. They were searching for some kind of key in their genetics, taking blood samples, experimenting, brainwashing them to want to serve the Ascended. The cultists feel a deep, almost psychic connection with the alien, following the voice, and contributing to what they have named the Cassandra Project. A chosen few would be taken to the oldest known installation on Lethe, serving as the Darwin Era temple. According to Marlowe, not everyone can be chosen, but everyone can serve, in their way. The creature is the ultimate expression of evolution, humankind raised to a zenith. Its seed absorbs all that you are. Your body becomes the host for a new, perfect form. It is ascension. It is apotheosis. The cultists, of course, are content to serve the hive in any way they can. Most had never seen the temple themselves, but they have all heard the voice. Excerpt from conversation with an imprisoned cultist. "I don't talk, I only listen. To her voice. Cassandra's voice. Her name is sacred. Her name is the key. Cassandra has opened our minds to the hive. Through her voice, we understand their purpose. With her guidance, we feel what they feel. By her teachings, we reach a new stage of evolution." Dr. Becker, originally assigned by WEYLAND to oversee a new cryosleep routine aboard the Otago, took it upon himself to start his own investigation, as per Dr. Becker's conversation with Harper and Hayes. "I've been analyzing your recent encounters with the Darwin Era, cross-referencing with survivor reports, and, in shorts, they have found a way to walk among these critters, as you put it. Some cultists seem to carry a preliminary step of the specimen in some sort of device, here, between their lungs. This allows them to move around older creatures, while your Marines are systematically attacked." Upon further studies of the imprisoned cultist, Becker confirmed his theory and determined that these devices installed into the cultists could suspend the gestation process of the alien embryo forms, thus being recognized as part of the hive. He concluded, however, that neither Marlowe or any of the other cultists could have any direct control over the hive this way. The true concern for Sergeant Harper was in the name, Cassandra, the name of his daughter, who was working as an engineer on the Tantalus facility on Lethe. Marlowe believed that Cassandra possessed an ascended consciousness, a rare ability to communicate with the Hive. She became crucial in his experimentation. She was the voice the cultists all followed, though Marlowe held her prisoner and sedated, captive not only physically but by terrible nightmares of the Hive while in her dream state. Since arriving on the planet, Harper had been hearing this voice and seeing these visions himself. The visions caused him terrible pain, as they did to Cassandra. This became overwhelming, but he was still determined to find his daughter. The search led Harper to Olduvai, initially mined for trimonite settlers found an ancient underground city, alien in nature and seemingly quite dead at the time of its discovery. Marlowe had become obsessed with it and the possibilities that lie within. This is where he took Cassandra, in an attempt to use her abilities to awaken the suspended life in the temple at its core. Marlowe alludes to past instances where this temple was investigated. One cannot cease to be amazed by the Ascended. To think these corporate fools believe they could harness their power. How amusing. I wish I could have been there, when they first tried. Man meeting the ultimate organism. Marlowe's motives were not in controlling the alien, but in joining human and alien together. The culmination of Marlowe's work and his capture of Cassandra, giving rise to the Titan Xenomorph, a gargantuan being reminiscent of XX121, but unlike any other documented previously. The massive beast has a crest similar to that of an alien queen, but proportionally significantly larger. Heavily armored, gunfire takes no effect on it whatsoever. Its arms, with 2 digited claws, which can easily dig into the hard surfaces of the temple and aid in its navigation. Partly a crawl, partly a slither, this is not a bipedal creature. Instead it has a massive tail, bone-like, reflecting the architecture of the underground city. It is as if they are made from the same source. With rows of teeth, it has 2 large lower mandibles that represent the surface of its much larger pharyngeal jaw, able to extend seemingly as far as its entire body length. This could be used to very effectively attack prey or any threats that gets in its way, but possibly even a form of communication. There is a curious moment between the Titan and Cassandra where it pauses during a psychic flash. It moves, almost as if thinking, assessing the situation, not fully willing to harm its namesake. As Marlowe had foreseen it, Cassandra and this being are one and the same. She embodies years of research, decades. She's the pinnacle of our Maker's work. She is the only voice the Hive answers to. The bridge between your 2 species. The door to xenosynthesis. Marlowe, however, may not be exactly true to his word, and not exactly who he says he is. Harper would also hold his own secrets, with abilities of his own, yet to be fully recognized. This is from the story of Alien's Dark Descent, the video game developed by Tindalos Interactive. While this aspect of including alien-worshipping cultists is a new and different take from the aliens versus marine stories we've seen in video games in the past, it is certainly a familiar territory when it comes to the extended universe of Alien as a whole. A major plot point of the very first Aliens comics from Dark Horse involved religious fanatics who worshipped the alien as a higher power. They too hear the voice calling them to ascend. In this case, it would be coming from the Queen Mother Alien, influencing the thoughts and actions of those who dream of her. Dark Descent takes its own angle on this idea with the Cassandra Project. There is a possible nod to this storyline. In one moment of the game, Marines find graffiti written on a crate. Marlowe was right. A likely nod to a visual from Alien's Nightmare Asylum, where we see the graffiti, "Darwin was right," as the Earth succumbs to the alien plague. This has always been an interesting way to explore mankind's relationship with the alien. There is fear of the unknown, in a being we can't comprehend and see as a threat. But opposite to that, if it is this unknown ancient thing, it could be seen as a higher power. Maybe the only concept more frightening than the threat of an alien species would be those who welcome it with open body and spirit, and fight against those who would do otherwise. Have you had a chance to play Alien's Dark Descent? Do you find this plot aspect of the cultists intriguing? Is this something you'd like to see explored in further alien-related media? Comment below and share your thoughts. As always, I'd like to thank you very much for watching today. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up with the latest from Alien Theory. My very special thanks today goes out to Brandon James, XenoshadowMorph, and XenoZip, Queen Tiers of the Patreon Hive. Thank you to Gregory Ford and John Griggs, the Hive's Praetorians. A very special thanks to Lady Anne in the Ellen Ripley Tier of Excellence. And thank you very much, Nicholas Butta and Frank, the Alien Theory Weyland-Yutani executives. If you'd like to join the Hive and support the channel, check out my Patreon page for further information. In the meantime, you can follow me on social media. Follow @alien_theory on X, formerly Twitter. Follow @AlienTheoryYT on Facebook and Instagram for more. And until next time, this is Alien Theory, signing off.